Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is having a great night. I have a guest that's going to join us. I have her on the phone. She did not want to come on like face to face. So I have her on the phone and her name is Cassie. She actually owns the house that Ivan and Alysia lived in Rush Springs, Oklahoma. It is on this property. That the remains were found just a couple of days ago. The remains that they are assuming is that of Athena Brownsfield. Now, Cassie knows Alysia, she knows Ivan, but she knows Alicia's mother more than anyone, I would say. So I spoke to her earlier today, and she's got a lot of information. Her Cassie's brother actually dated Alicia's mother, Shelly, on and off for several years, like almost 20 years on and off. Her brother dated Alicia's mom. So she's very familiar with Alicia's mom, pretty familiar with Alysia and Ivan. She has some text message exchange between her and Alysia, text message exchange between her and Alicia's mom, Shelly. And one of the things that Shelly said in the messages right after Athena went missing is kind of I don't know, questionable, shocking, kind of weird. But we're going to go over everything and kind of talk about it. So, just to give you guys a rundown of what we're talking about, 4-year-old Athena Brownsfield out of Oklahoma was reported missing on January 10th when her 5-year-old sister was found outside her house, kind of roaming around. And the mail carrier walked up on this 5-year-old and was like, where's your parents? And this little girl named Adina was just kind of like, I don't know. I'm home. I'm home alone. She even told the mail carrier, I can't find my sister, and I'm home alone, and I'm tired of being home alone. And she also said something along the lines of being hungry. So the mail carrier contacted the police. The police contacted the owners of the home, who then told them, we rent our home to Alysia. They contacted Alysia, and Alysia said, well, where's Athena? If you have Adina, where's Athena? And she then said, well, I don't know. All the kids are supposed to be with Ivan, my husband. This is literally January 10th. Now, Alysia, from my understanding, is up in Oklahoma City with her new boyfriend at the time. Now, this new boyfriend situation was a very quick situation because on December 30th, Alysia was still with her husband, Ivan, and they were going out on dinner dates. They were in the city having a good old time. So Alysia she was arrested and she was charged with 2 counts of child neglect. After being questioned the second time, she did tell law enforcement agents that Ivan had killed Athena. Athena and Adina were sisters, and Alysia and Ivan were their caretakers. They were not their parents, they were the caretakers, and they had these 2 little girls for almost 2 years. There was no custody paperwork or anything like this. From my understanding, the little girl's mother had some problems with addiction and gave the little girls to Alysia and Ivan almost 2 years ago. Since Alysia and Ivan had these kids, they had not been registered for school. They had not been in any doctor's appointments or anything like that. And it seems that, according to Alysia, what she told law enforcement, that on the night of Christmas night, which is the night that everybody looks forward to, especially kids, it's their favorite, day of the year, Christmas, December 25th, 2022. According to Alysia's statement to law enforcement, Ivan beat Athena to death. That she said he held her up by her arm, hitting her, at one point laying her on the ground, landing like 2 or 3 blows to the chest. Alysia said she did not move after that. Her eyes were barely open. He then allegedly left with her and was gone for a little bit, came back home and said that he buried the little girl out on their old property. Now, media outlets were saying that this was their property, that they owned this home. This was their old house, and they own this property. But from what my understanding is, this could be actually Cassie's property. And the house that they lived in when they lived out in Rush Springs was Cassie's house. It was not Ivan and Alysia's house. So Ivan was found in Maricopa County Arizona, where he was arrested. Alysia was charged with 2 counts of child neglect. Ivon was charged with first-degree murder and 1 count of child neglect. When he went to his first and only hearing in Arizona, he waived his right to an extradition hearing, saying, "I need to get back to fight this." So he was picked up today in Oklahoma, in Arizona, and he is on his way back to Oklahoma. Alysia is still in jail in Surreal County, Oklahoma, where she did get a bond of $500,000. Now, I have questions about all of this. Alysia or Cassie was on my stream earlier today, and she told me like it was my property. I kind of know of them. So we started talking, and she told me a lot of information. So Cassie is on the phone. Hey, Cassie, thank you for coming.
Hello.
So Cassie, can you kind of explain how you know Alysia and Ivon?
Yes, I know them because my little brother used to date Alicia's mother for so long, and that's how I know them. I actually know Shelly, and that's how I got to know them.
So, okay. So Shelly is Alicia's mom.
Yes.
And Shelly and your brother have been dating on and off for about 20 years.
Yes.
You said Shelly actually had problems with like substance abuse years ago, and she didn't really raise her children.
No.
So
No, but she's not back then, but she has been clean for like 10, 11 years. It could be 12 years, but it's been a while. But yes.
since Alysia has been an adult, Shelly has probably been clean. But when Alysia was a child, Shelly was not clean, right?
No.
And Alysia was not really raised by Shelly. She was raised more by like her dad and like her grandparents. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So you know Shelly, and then you come to
Uh-huh.
know of Alysia and Ivon because you know Shelly. And at
Yes.
some point, Alysia and Ivon needed a place to live because they have 4 children, plus they got the 2
They,
girls.
yes.
So you had a home,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah, it's there in Rush Springs. It's like a 3-bedroom, 1 bath that could house them all because they had nowhere to go.
the picture that you sent me, you actually sent me a picture of the property.
Yes.
I'm looking at it now. On that picture that you sent me, I'm trying to see where the house might would be. Um,
You see the driveways?
yes.
Okay, you're going to have to blow up the picture because there's so much property to it. It's like follow the driveways and you'll see the little bitty house.
I think I know what you're talking about. So I
Yes.
see.
It's just so much land. It's hard to see because it's very heavily wooded too.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go by the markers on the driveways there.
So if we're looking at the map that you sent me, where it says Grady County Coon Hunters, there's a road to the right. There's a long dirt road. No,
Yes, yes.
that's the road to where she was buried, right?
I have not been down there, but from helicopter views up top, and they're showing the areas with me knowing the property. Yes.
Okay. Now, down that dirt road, it looks like if I zoom in down towards almost the end of the picture, maybe a little bit below the middle of the picture, it does look like there's a big, like not a big, but an opening of like dirt, and it looks like there could be a house right there. Is that where the property was that they lived on, or is that not a house?
No. So on that property that you see the square around it where it says Andrew Simmons and Amber Dawn Simmons.
Yes.
Okay. So in that square is the property that they lived on in the house.
Okay, I see that.
Not the Coon Dog Association, because that's where the property divides from our property to someone else's property.
Okay, it has like a drive and it says private.
Yes, that is the driveway to the house.
Okay, so you guys looking at my screen where it says Simmons, Andrew S, and Amber D. Above that, you guys can see a little house and a little driveway and driveway coming from the left going out to the right. That is her house where Alysia and Ivan lived. How long did they live there?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. And they had the girls, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or they moved in and they had the. No, I want to say they already had the girls. Yeah, I want to say that. Or they just moved in and got the girls.
Okay, gotcha. Um, let's see. Now, what you knew of Alysia and Ivan, you had heard things about like her being unfaithful, cheating, and Ivan kind of being the type that would take her back no matter what, right?
Yes.
Someone in the chat asked, when did they move away from your property?
It's been about 6 to 8 months, approximately.
So the house that Adina was found outside of, they've only been in that neighborhood for about 6 to 8 months.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna try to find that house picture of it really quickly. And that's not their house. That's a rental property too, I think. From my understanding.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's either her family or something like that. It's other family that direction too.
Okay. So they know the owner of this property.
I want to say so, yes. Both of them sit beside each other.
Okay. Let's see. So they've been out of your property for a bit. Did they say why they were leaving your property or no?
Because I was starting to make them pay rent. My mother wanted them to pay rent because they'd been out there for so long and they wasn't paying any rent. And then she wrote up some contract and wanted them to start paying rent, and they just could not afford that. So they moved.
Okay, so they left a property where they was not paying rent and moved to a property that is owned by what you think is family members. So when they moved, they may have moved to a house where they don't have to pay rent.
Yes, that's what I'm assuming.
Okay. How far from your property where they used to live to where they were living when all of this went down? What's the distance between those two homes?
Maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. Have you been to your property since they left? Like, have you noticed it? Do you know if there's like any damage that would lead you to believe that like?
Well, there was a lot of. They left a lot of stuff, a lot of toys, a lot of clothes, and like all rooms. Like they just, we figured they'd come back, that they wanted it or whatever, but they would come back to get like lawnmowers and stuff. They didn't really get like the toys or the clothes and everything, but we didn't think anything of it. We just thought like 6 kids, you got overload on a lot of stuff. So we just brought out dumpsters and tossed it all.
Wow. So every time I've ever moved, now I have 6 kids, but every time I ever move, I mean, we leave the house like cleaned out. You know, we clean it up. There's nothing there.
No. It took several days cleaning it up because it was just so many clothes and toys and like holy moly.
But there wasn't any damage, like holes in the wall that would lead you.
No, one busted window, but it didn't even make a big deal of that. 6 kids throwing balls, things like that happened. So no physical damage, no.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Now you had talked to Alysia on the phone at times.
Yes.
And you said, because when I asked you, do you think there's a possibility that like one of them may have been kind of abusive? Like, do you think Ivan may have been abusive, or maybe Alysia? And you said if anyone was going to be abusive, it would probably be Alysia. And you feel that way based off hearing her on the phone, the way that she would talk to Ivan and things like that.
Yes. Yeah, if I had to guess which one was abusive, it would be her. She just has a real dominating personality about herself in general.
Gotcha. Um, Now, were there ever any rumors about abuse or anything that you ever heard?
No, I physically never heard that them being abusive to anybody. Her unfaithful, yes, but not abusive.
Now, that was kind of something that was known in the community that Alysia was unfaithful.
Yes.
And her and Ivan were together in December 30th, they were together. And then
Yes.
all of a sudden, January like 7th and 8th, January 7th and 8th, she was with this new boyfriend. Um, do you remember hearing anything about her and Ivan splitting up?
I didn't even know, like, because I follow her heavily on Facebook because she does have the kids, and I am so close to her mom. And I like almost everything on her Facebook. Once it was Ivan and her, the 30th, they was together January the 1st. Then all of a sudden, like 4 days later, she's got this brand new boyfriend. She's getting a divorce. And I even took the phone to my husband and I was like, oh my God, look. And he was just like, what the hell?
Yeah. So y'all had heard rumors of like her cheating, but never like to the point to where she was like prancing around with a new man on her Facebook.
No. I think she did it when Ivan was at work because he used to do landscaping with my brother. So they was gone long stretches at a time to give her opportunity. So, yeah.
Do you know if there was ever any instances when they lived on your property where the police was called?
No.
No. Okay. Um, so when you heard about what happened, where do you remember where you were when you heard about what happened and how you came to realize, holy crap, this is someone that I know?
I was at work and it came across our TVs at work. And it's real. I'm from Chickasha, so it got my attention. And then I jumped on Facebook and then I started reading the comments to see who this little baby belonged to, what family, because it's such a tight community there. Everybody knows everybody, everybody's family. So trying to figure out who this baby belonged to. And then I realized who she belonged to.
And you said you followed Alysia on Facebook, and she would post
Yes.
pictures of her kids all the time, but she never
Yes.
posted photos of Athena or Adina.
No, never. And I have followed her for like 2 years, going on 3 years, and I've never seen pictures of the babies on there. But I thought it was she had some kind of DHS custody thing, and I know there's a lot of times they can't post them pictures. So I was just assuming it was that. She could not put them out there because I didn't know if their parents was abusive and it was some protective custody kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. You didn't know who their parents were.
No.
I have a text message that Cassie sent me. About how long ago would you think this message was? Where you said, "I hear you got a whole tribe of kids. That's awesome." Was that before they moved into your property?
That was when they were moving into the property. That's when I first started getting to know Alysia for them.
Okay.
I already knew Shelly. That's when I was getting to know them.
Okay. So this is a text message that between Alysia and the landlord, who, keep in mind, this is not just a landlord. Cassie knew Alysia's mother really well because Alysia's mother dated Cassie's brother on and off for like 20 years. So here is the text message where Cassie and Alysia are talking. And Alysia says, where are you staying? And Cassie says, I hear you got a whole tribe of kids. That's awesome. And Alysia says, yes, 6 of them now. Better than them being in the system. How are you? Are you okay? So this is where she mentions she's got the 6 kids and that the kids are better with her than being in, obviously with the system. And that's what made you think that there was some sort of court order involved, or like CPS may have been involved. You thought the kids, if they weren't with her, they would have been in the system.
Yes. That's why it was never alarming that I never seen posts any pictures of the babies. I've seen Shelly post pictures of the babies, but not Alysia.
No,
Because I
Shelly.
was thinking, she can't post them because like court orders and stuff.
So you thought maybe Alysia couldn't post them, but you did see that Shelly would post them from time to time. But maybe
Yes.
just you felt like, well, maybe they're not watching Alysia's mom's page. Like maybe it like she wouldn't get caught posting them or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know like the whole situation, but I think I might have only seen one or two that Shelly even posted of all of them.
So this
and I could have swore they were all Shelly's grandkids, but I guess they're cousins or something. I'm not really sure how they're all related right now. There's so much stuff going on. I was assuming they were her grandkids.
From my understanding, Alysia and Jasmine, the mother of Athena and Adina, are cousins. That's what I've been told, but I don't know. But this is a post that Alysia's mom posted on July 22nd, 2022. She wrote, "Spent time with my grandbabies tonight while mom and dad had a much needed date night." So I think the lady on the left is Shelly. Is that the Shelly is the
Yeah, the dark headed one? Yes. Okay.
So that is Alysia's mom. And then that is a photo. The kids are there in the corner. And you can see that's all of Alysia and Ivan's kids. And then Athena and Adina are back there in the back. That looks like Athena directly in the back, if I'm not mistaken. Like right in the middle wearing the white shirt. I think that's Athena. And then I'm not for sure what the bottom picture is of that she posted, but that is Alysia's mom posting the kids. And Cassie said she did post the kids a couple of times, but Alysia never did. And she wasn't alarmed too much by it. She just thought there was some sort of reason why she couldn't. So with one thing that we spoke about earlier, and you've known Alysia's mom for 20 years.
Oh yeah, we was kids.
Okay. And I asked you, I said, out of Ivan and Alysia, who would you think would be capable of doing this?
Alysia.
And you said Alysia. And
yes.
And you said, at first you really didn't think that. Like at first when it first came out.
I didn't. I thought that I thought he caught her having this little affair thing that she had going on. He got mad and said, "I'm taking my kids. Come get your sister kids." And I seriously thought she just didn't come back for some reason because she's thinking, oh, he's mad. He's not going to leave the kids. And he actually did. And I thought the baby got out and was like lost in the town or some pervert had picked her up.
Okay. So hang tight with that story. So this is what Cassie thought. So when Cassie's at work and she sees the news that there is a 4-year-old baby missing in Surreal, Oklahoma, she starts trying to figure out who this baby is. She realizes, oh my gosh, that's my brother's ex-girlfriend, Shelly. That's her, grandbaby. So she actually messages Shelly to check. And her thought was, well, Ivan caught Alysia cheating. He got his kids and left. Alysia probably wasn't there. And he probably just left Athena and Adina there because they're not his kids. So he got mad and took off and left the little girls there. And one of the little girls, Athena got out, maybe got kidnapped, maybe got lost, something along those lines. She never thought that anybody did anything to them. And she reached out to Shelly. And I'm going to show you guys those messages. So right when she heard about it, and she reaches out to Shelly, in her mind, she's just thinking that Ivan left with his kids and left Athena and Adina home. And that Athena must have got out and something bad happened to Athena. So this is what she texted her. This is the next day after Adina was found outside, January 11th at 2:01. She says, I cannot imagine what you're going through. I'm praying for her safe return. And Alicia's mom says, "Thank you so much. Everyone in town thinks Allie did it." At that point, you're confused because you're like, "Did what? Like the baby's missing? Like what?" You're confused. Like that was like a red flag to you that she said everyone thinks Allie did it.
Yes, but it didn't click to me because I'm at work, and then I was like, what? I was kind of confused, but I was like, okay, and then it just went on. But after the fact,
So
I was
before you really have time to like comprehend like anything outside of maybe the little girl just being left home alone by Ivan and wandering out, you say, well, it's a small town, that's people talk, but we know Alysia, she wouldn't do any harm to anyone. And you told me that you really thought that before. You're like, well, I really didn't think. You've been
I
on the phone with
didn't
her.
think.
You've been on the phone with Alysia. You've heard her be kind of um, demeaning, kind of abrasive to like Ivan when
Yes.
speaking to him, but you still didn't like nothing clicked for you to think that she hurt this baby.
No, not at all.
And then Alicia's mom says, yes, there are comments on stuff about me doing drugs and crap. And then you said, I didn't know who the baby belonged to. And I started reading comments and my heart just stopped. I've been seeing what they said about her right. Wait, I've been seeing what they've said about her, but I don't know any of the facts. And she said it's awful. So because you had seen Shelly post photos of like her grandbabies, you didn't know exactly who this girl was at first until you realized it was like, well, one of her grandbabies.
Right.
Um, After that, you put, I cannot imagine. I'm so sorry we're going through. I'll be praying that everything works out and she is found safe because you're still not thinking anything bad.
Yeah, I think she's lost.
Right.
Like wandered off somewhere.
So, oh my, any updates yet? She says no. You said, I'm so sorry. She said, thank you. And she said, oh, the things they're saying about Allie breaks my heart. That's what you said. And she said, I know. I'm not reading any of it, but I've heard and I can imagine. The truth will come out, but they will still talk crap about her having a weekend to herself. And you probably didn't even understand that the weekend that Allie had with her boyfriend, little Athena was at home alone.
No idea.
And then you actually respond and say, I sure hope it's not true what I'm reading and that he purposely left a baby there.
Yes.
Because you're like, holy crap, like that's what your thought was, that he left the little ones there, Adina and Athena, and took his kids. So you're like, surely he would not do that.
Right, because I was in the middle of working, trying to follow this story and try to text her too. And I'm like, okay, stop a minute, Reed. What is going on right now? And I didn't have really like no time to think, to try to put anything together. I'm just thinking, oh God. I'm like reading all these comments and all this news is coming out.
There's nothing in your mind thinking that they did something to this kid.
No, absolutely not.
And you say, I'm praying for you all and her safe return. I love y'all. She said, thank you. We love you too. And then you tell her on January 12th, sometime after 2 p.m., you said they just searched the property at Rush Springs, which is the property, your property where they used to live. And she said,
I called them.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to tell about that? Go ahead and tell about that.
Well, because they were asking for if you have any tips regarding this whole situation, call the OSB hotline. And I did. And I was reading comments on Facebook and like just all this other stuff. First, it was that thing where Allie strangled her. And I was like, oh my God, so I called the OSBI and gave them the address to let them know that they lived out at this property before, that they probably should go check that. And that's how that came about.
Because it's a big property.
Yes, it's 22 acres and 2 ponds.
So she says, when you tell her they just searched the property, she says, I heard a rumor and was going to ask you. Didn't find anything, question mark. I mean, why would she?
I don't even know how she knew. I'm the one that called the OSBI. Nobody, I don't think law enforcement would have been like, okay, I'm going to go search your residence. Because I didn't tell anybody. I told the OSBI that I called them, and gave them my information to send them out there, but nobody knew.
Right. And well, you told them on the 12th earlier that day. Is that when you told them?
I think, yes. Like the OSBI?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then on the 17th is when they recovered the body. Okay. On the 12th was also, that's when Alysia was arrested. And I think on the 13th was when she told them about Ivon taking the baby to Rush Spring. So I think you must have even called them before she.
I did. I was reading all these comments on some of these posts of like I don't know if you've seen it, like the article where Allie strangled the baby and he disposed of the body, and I was like, no, I am calling. Like, what the? No. So, yes, I did call him and send him out there.
And when did you start thinking, like, okay, maybe they did do something?
That night.
That night?
That night, yeah, when I got home and was watching and reading all the comments, I couldn't even sleep. I'm like, I didn't know what to think, how to think, like, these people wouldn't do that, but would they do that? Why are they saying this? What, that's what really got me thinking, like, oh, man. And I still was kind of in disbelief until that article came out where she confessed what they did.
And when you read, where she said, well, Ivon did it and he buried the body, because let me tell you, when I heard it at first, I thought, well, okay, I guess that's what happened. But then I
didn't think that, not one bit, when I seen what that was. So, I immediately thought, she's lying. She heard that baby. He disposed of it. He got his kids and left. So, yeah. I didn't think, I still don't think she's the one that did it. I think she's not telling the truth. I could be wrong. That's just what I think.
And this is based off your years of knowing stuff about her. She's not been faithful to her husband, cheating on and off, being on the phone with her, hearing her kind of be like if somebody had to say, there's somebody in this family that's abusive, is it Ivon or Alysia? You're like, it would be Alysia.
Yes.
People in the chat are wondering who's on the phone, people coming in late. So she is the ex-landlord and also friends with Alysia's mother. So it's both. So her, Cassie's brother dated Alysia's mother on and off for like 20 years. So she's known Alysia for like 20 years. More so Alysia's mom. She rented her house to Alysia and Ivon right after they got the two girls. They lived in the property for a few years and ended up moving when they decided they were going to ask for rent because they had been living there for a while and had not paid any rent. So after they asked for rent, Alysia and Ivon left. Now, have you heard from Alysia's mom since she asked if anything was found on the property?
No, she deleted her Facebook.
And you never answered her either, right? Like you never said it. You never told her, which at this time they hadn't found anything, but you didn't even send a response.
No.
And when we talked earlier, I asked you, how close is she to her mom? Like, do you... Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, do you think if Alysia did something like this, would she tell her mom about it?
I think she would. Because if you look at them photos on January 30th, the 31st, and 1st, where were the other kids? Where did she leave them other kids? Shelly, if they had date nights and stuff, Shelly always had the babies.
So you think when Alysia and Ivon went out on New Year's night that Shelly kept the grandkids.
That I would assume she would, but now that this story broke, I don't know if she left them all at home. I don't know. The oldest one is like just turned 10.
Yeah. We've seen pictures of Alysia and Adam's kids. Pictures with them with bruises, really bad bruised thumbs. Have you seen those photos?
Yes, I have.
What's your take on that? I mean, thumbs look like somebody just stomped on them.
She posts these pictures publicly all the time, and I mean, go to her page. She has over 1,000 people following her because she's a makeup tourist or whatever that's called. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but she's pretty popular on Facebook and makeup and TikTok and things. Every one of us missed it. Now that we see it and people putting it like, here it is, every one of us missed it because now I do see it. But any other time, I'm thinking kids are kids. Kids fall because she was always posting, oh, Colt is sick or pray for Colt. He hurt his arm, you know, and we're thinking, oh, there's 6 kids. Of course they're rowdy. They're bunches and bunch of boys. Yeah, they're going to get hurt.
Right. So after this came out, though, you kind of started going back, looking at the photos and saying, holy crap, like, that definitely looks like it could be more than just, like, an accidental injury.
Oh, yes. And there's a lot of us that are doing that now because there's a lot of us that missed it.
Do you know if Athena was actually nonverbal?
No, she could talk.
She could talk.
Yeah, like, I mean, she was like a little behind, but it was more of a shy thing, you know, but she could speak. Yes.
Okay. Because there were some things come out saying she was nonverbal, and then there were some things coming out saying she was just shy. So I didn't know for sure exactly, you know, what the deal was with that. Do you know if they were in diapers still? Because I heard reports that they were.
I don't know. I actually physically talked to my brother today too, and he's learning all this information, and he's very upset because he has video chatted with this baby in particular that we're speaking about, and she's able enough to communicate with him through a screen, you know, and they know what they're talking about.
Wow. Okay. Gotcha. What does your brother say about this?
Not anything good that probably can go public because he is in prison. He's in there for a really long time, and yeah, they killed that baby. Like,
that's what he thinks. Yeah, I mean that he's like, I mean,
at first he was just like me. No way, the baby's lost. Somebody picked her up. Like, no, they wouldn't do this. But now knowing the facts, his exact words is they're going to get everything that is coming to them. And he's in prison, so you could take that however, you know.
Right. And Ivon is on his way back. And
yes.
When he gets to Oklahoma, he will be in the same jail as Alysia, but it will be split. Like, there's like a men's side and women's side, correct?
Yes, yes.
And I asked
the only time they will see each other is if they have court on the same day. They
Gotcha.
will be shackled up to the courthouse together.
Gotcha. There was something else I wanted to ask you. Does anybody in the comment section have questions? Because I want to make sure we do get to all the questions. Someone said jailhouse justice. Oh, I asked you because Alysia's bond has been set at $500,000. So if she hires a bondsman, she could get out for about $50,000, maybe a little bit more. I asked you, did you think her family could possibly put that together to get her out?
They could put that together, but here in Oklahoma, if they bond her out, they have to pay for the attorney. She does not get a court-appointed attorney anymore. And the attorney that picked up her case is one of our best criminal defense attorneys in this county. So
she's got a really good attorney.
Yes.
Would her mom cover for her?
I would say yes.
You would say yes. Do you know if the kids were homeschooled?
They were homeschooled last year through the COVID stuff, but this year, no, they were in school.
But Athena and Adina wasn't, but her kids were in school.
Yes, she had a little boy that was like 2, and he didn't go to school either. But all the rest of them did, besides the 3 littlest ones.
Right. Sherry in the comments says, I'm confused. Was she strangled or beaten? I think there was reports that came out that said strangled, but I think Alysia may have said that he beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if they collected any government assistance for the girls, like food stamps or anything like that? Do you know? I mean, I don't.
I honestly don't know any of their finance stuff. I would assuming they couldn't pay me the rent that like what we wanted. They moved so we didn't have to pay. So I'm assuming. I don't know how that all. He didn't have that well of a job.
Where was he working?
He did not work.
She did not work, but he did.
Yes.
And where did he work?
On the railroad.
And when this took place, so from what we are hearing, someone took Athena's life on Christmas night. They were together on December 30th. And you guys, this is kind of sick. But on December 30th, they went to a murder mystery dinner. Alysia and Ivon went out on a date in Oklahoma City to a place called the Dinner Detective. Let me show you guys. It is where you can book a party, basically, and you go to a dinner, and it's a mystery murder thing.
Very, very disturbing.
This was 5 days after someone in that house killed Athena. They get dressed to the nines with matching, like they're both wearing, he has like a red suit or a suit with like the red, vest. She has a red dress. They get their friends and they all go to this murder mystery dinner theater in Oklahoma City called the Dinner Detective. Thank you, Jerry D. I'll definitely look at that after this. They're all smiles during this. I mean, the photos that was posted, they're all smiles after this. I'll show you guys. It's sickening to think about that someone just killed a 4-year-old and now here they are. Right here. Here they are. That's her in the red dress, obviously. And then Ivon is right beside her in the cowboy hat. And she wrote best night at Dinner Detective. And then someone actually commented saying, wow, it was just a week after that night that you told your husband that you wanted a divorce and you ended up with a new boyfriend. So literally, like a week after this. So she's in Oklahoma City this night. 5 nights after the murder with Ivon. A week after this, she's back in Oklahoma City with Bladen, her new boyfriend. This night, she's doing the Dinner Detective. And then a week later, she's doing movies and a dinner with Bladen. So clearly, she had no care in the world that Athena had been killed. And that's my personal belief of why I think she's the one that did it. Now, media outlets reported that Ivon took off to Arizona because he had family out there. But Cassie, you heard
She went to her dad's. That is Alicia's dad that lives up there that he went to.
So Ivon scooped the kids up and ran to her dad's house.
Yes.
And when we were talking, we kind of thought maybe he was trying to get the kids somewhere. So if they were arrested, the kids wouldn't go into like the custody of the state until someone could get them. So he tried to leave them with the grandfather.
Yes.
And Alysia was raised by her dad because her mom was really bad on drugs during her childhood, Alicia's
Yes.
childhood. So do you know right now if the dad has the kids?
I do not know.
Okay, Tam Tam wants from the chat said, Elle, could you please ask Cassie if she ever had any suspicions of drug use by Alysia or Ivon? How could you not afford to pay rent if you had a job? Where could all the money be going? So did you ever have any reason to suspect that they were doing drugs?
No, not at all. At that time when they lived out on the property, he worked with my brother doing landscaping. And they were trying to start a business. And Alysia is like, she likes the finer things, like finer clothes. Her kids have to have the finest things. Like, she's a pageant mom. Buying these gowns, them things ain't cheap.
Right.
And with 6 kids, I'm just assuming he wasn't making enough money to be able to pay all of that, and then all the bills of taking care of all that, and plus the rent. So I didn't even think of anything about it when they moved out. I was just like, okay, they can't afford it, so they're moving in to another house that they don't have to pay rent. Because 6 kids, I can imagine how expensive that is.
It's expensive. It is expensive for 6 kids, and if only one person is working, I mean, you would have to make. I mean, if you're not paying rent, well, that's going to be anywhere from. How much How much were y'all asking for rent?
$700.
That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad.
No.
And they couldn't afford that.
No.
Well, it seemed like the money was going into her doing these pageants with the girls, and her getting her nails done and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So in your personal opinion, knowing Shelly, all the years that you've known Shelly. Oh, and I just want to put this out there. So you said Shelly had a thing for like guys that were incarcerated.
That she marries guys that's incarcerated. I've never understood it, but I mean, she's my friend, so I judge her to her face, but not like behind. Like, what are you doing? We'd always just make a joke. She didn't have to deal with them, you know what I mean? Just talk to them every now and then, put money on her books, and then be gone with it.
So when she started dating your brother, was he incarcerated?
He wasn't incarcerated first, but he's been in prison several times, and she's always been with him. She's actually married to my brother's cellmate right at the moment.
And Shelly and your brother broke up only about 6 months ago, right? About 6 months.
Yes.
They broke up about 6 months ago, and then she immediately started talking to your brother's cellmate and got married to your brother's cellmate.
Yeah, because they have these tablets where you can talk here in Oklahoma, and you can see and everything. So if she's on the phone with my brother, she can see everyone that's in the pod, or if he's got the tablet in his cell, that she can see who's in the cell or talk to them as well.
That's really interesting. That I thought that was interesting where you said that she tends to go for guys that are incarcerated.
She always does.
That's wild.
I've never known her to have a husband or boyfriend that was not incarcerated.
That's really strange.
But she also goes to prison and ministers to them, and she's a hospice nurse. So, I mean, she likes helping people. I always thought she tries to fix all these broken men. I don't know.
Yeah, because you said she dealt with addiction when she
Hmm.
was when her kids were little, and she didn't really
Yes.
raise them. But then after they got older, she got sober. She got her nursing degree.
Yes.
Started a job at hospice, and still was dating guys, incarcerated.
Yeah.
But then started.
She was actually got really all of them are really big into church, and she would go minister to different prisons.
You said, I think it was you that said something to me about Ivan and Alysia used to go to church, right? Like they used to be in church a good bit.
Alysia just got baptized
How long
like
ago?
last month.
What?
Yes. Yes, she did.
Alysia got baptized last month?
Yes.
Was she already talking to Bladen? What rumors are that she was kind of talking to Bladen before she left Ivan, right?
Well, she posted something on her Facebook page that January 5th was the best day of her life because she got the best text message ever that changed her life forever. And then here comes the 5th, and you see them in Oklahoma City. So I was assuming that's the text message that made her so happy.
Yeah, I mean, if she wasn't, and I've talked to Bladen through messages, he seems nice. Said no comment, but if they weren't having a thing before her and Ivan split up, then it was a very new thing.
Yes.
Um, do someone in the chat, True Crime Crazy in the chat, said, Elle, could you please ask her, does she believe that Ivan will be able to prove that he didn't unalive this precious baby?
I do not know. I think since Alysia has done said it, I don't know how that any of that is going to work. I think they both should be charged with murder, and then both should be charged with one count of attempted murder for leaving the baby there by herself. I think they're both guilty. If he did it or if he didn't, if she didn't, they're both guilty.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Somebody definitely done. They both done something wrong because
Yes.
he left and took all the kids and left Adina for sure there. Um,
Yes.
Possibly knowing that Athena had been killed.
Yes. But I know how Ivan is about Alysia too. So he might never say nothing.
Do you think he would
And
take the
just
rap? Do you think he would take the rap for this?
I want to say yes, he probably will. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm assuming he probably will. He was crazy for her.
To the point that when she cheated, he would take her back.
Yes.
Wow. Um. Okay. Could you please ask her? Wait, I already read that one. Trying to make sure I have all the questions because I wanted to keep this at an hour because I know you have to put your or like 45 minutes because I know you have to put your grandbaby to sleep.
Yes. I was putting her to sleep last night because she just turned 4 in December.
Oh.
I think I am grieving and more emotional than either one of them two.
Oh, for sure.
I just was looking at her and I lost it. You know, I'm a general manager trying to run a business and just roller coaster of emotions. Crying one minute, I just cannot understand how anybody could do that.
I don't either.
But
I
I don't know what a 4-year-old could possibly ever do. For you to leave your temper, more or less hurt them like that, that's just the purest evil that is out there.
I've had a really hard time with it as well. Um, I have a 5-year-old, so thinking about someone doing something like that to my 5-year-old, or thinking about my 5-year-old being left at home alone. Um,
And the reason why I think she did it is I have 5 kids and I got 2 grandbabies. It's my husband and I love him dearly. If he was to hurt, more or less kill one of my children, he'd be dead and he wouldn't be taking any one of my kids. He wouldn't take my kids nowhere.
That's the exact way that I feel. Like the fact that she let um, him leave with the kids when allegedly she just saw him kill one of the kids makes no sense to me. Now,
and you're just gonna, okay, take all the other kids. Well,
right?
No.
Right. Doesn't really make sense. Now, I heard that Jasmine, Athena, and Adina's mother was Alicia's cousin. Do you know who she was, or do you have any?
I always thought they were sisters.
Okay, because someone in the chat did say that.
I am seeing that they may be cousins, they may be sisters. I'm not really sure.
Okay, someone in the chat said they heard that they were sisters too, so I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Have the police interviewed you?
I called the police myself, and I told it all. Have no doubt.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, you guys, because she's got to get her grandbaby to sleep. Since Alicia's mom asked you if anything was found on the property, you haven't heard from her, and she deactivated her Facebook and everything, right?
Yes. And now that I know the facts, I mean, I do have her cell number, but I am not texting her nothing.
Right. Yeah. Will you be going to like the arraignment or any of the court hearings? Do you think you would go to any of them?
I don't think I'll go to any of them, but I am going to go to the little girl's funeral and probably going to go down there and put my property for sale. I'm like, no.
You don't think you'll keep your property after?
No, not at all.
Right. Yeah. I do not blame you. Thank you, Lulu, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Well, Cassie, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you hopping in the chat earlier and then emailing me. And I'll be in touch with you. So if you have any other questions or anything that you could think of that would add value to this discussion, you know, my cell phone number, you have it. It's always open to you. So text me anytime you have anything that you would like to say, or if you ever want to come back on the channel, please don't hesitate to text me. I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys. So I wanted to make sure I told Cassie like 45 minutes to an hour. And she has, like I said, she has her granddaughter there that she wanted to make sure she could get her in bed. So I didn't want to keep her too late. But what I thought was really interesting was 2 things. Is Adina was found on January 10th outside her home. The very next day, when Athena was just reported missing, before anybody was arrested, before there was any discussion of a possible death, the mother says, everybody thinks Allie did something. Like everybody thinks Allie did this. Why does the whole town think Allie did something to the little girl? I mean, that tells you a lot there of how the town looks at Allie, in my opinion. The town already knew, allegedly, that Allie was hot to trot, that she was a cheater. I guess there were certain people that thought maybe she was a little hardcore, a little abrasive. So people were literally thinking that Allie did something, and they were already talking about it throughout the town that Allie was up to no good. I do want to comment about the guy that Allie was dating, Bladen. There were, reports that he put money on Alicia's books. I did get confirmation that that was not him. I was told that he did not put money on her books. And you do have to ask yourself this: if this man who just met her and just started dating her decided he was going to continue dating her after what he found out about her, would he screenshot the fact that he sent her money and then start putting it out there for the world to see? Would he do that? or would somebody else possibly do it just because of the way that it would look? Because, oh my God, look at this. You know what I'm saying? I have proof that the boyfriend's put money on her books. You know what I'm saying? It would cause a conversation, it would be drama. So it's a story that he did not put money on her books. And I mean, you know, if he was going to, would he take a picture of it and put it out there for the world to see? You know, mom saying Allie did something reminds me of baby Quentin's grandmother. Yeah, she said the whole town, you know, was thinking that Allie did something. And then something else that's very telling is the grandmother saying, you know, when Cassie texted her and said they're searching the property, she said, I just heard a rumor about that. I was going to text you to see if it's true. Didn't find anything, did they? Question mark. I mean, you should. To me, it would be like, well, I don't know why they're searching. Like, they're not going to find her. Somebody clearly kidnapped her. It's not like the little girl's out there in the property roaming around. Nobody buried her, especially on their old property. If anybody did something to Athena, it was a stranger. You know, maybe she got out, wandered out, and was picked up. You know, I mean, the fact that she was like, didn't find anything, question mark, I don't know, makes me believe that potentially Allie's mama knew there was that the child had been buried there. Yeah, if the parents knew she wasn't in a safe place, that's their fault too. I mean, I've seen a lot of people say, like, well, good for the mom. She knew she couldn't take care of the kids, so she gave them to someone else. But I'm like, but she bounced them around too, because she first gave them, from my understanding, um, Adina and Athena was first given to their grandmother, and then Jasmine, their mom, and their grandmother had a disagreement, so she went and got the kids and brought them to some woman named Tammy, and then went and got them from Tammy and went and brought them to Alysia. And I mean, clearly, even if I couldn't raise my kids, if I had to let somebody else raise my kids, you could bet your bottom dollar on Christmas I'm going to be there with my kids. I'm going to say, can I spend the night at y'all's house? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be with my kids. You know, I may have drug issues or whatever it is. I don't know. I would try to be with my kids on Christmas Day. Shelly deactivated her Facebook when she found out that the property was being searched on January 12th. On January 12th, from my understanding, Shelly deactivated her Facebook. Now ask yourself why. I mean, that was also the day that her daughter was arrested, so maybe it was, you know, her daughter being arrested, knowing that they were searching the property. But the body was a body was not found until the 17th. It makes me think she may have known that the little girl's body was there. I'm looking for the photo of where she got baptized. I'm looking on her Instagram. A lot of pictures of her kids, but I'm not. Oh, there it is. I'm not seeing any photos. Y'all, she got baptized with a full face of makeup on. She was like committed to the makeup game. You know what I'm saying? Committed to the makeup game. So 16 weeks ago, September 26th, 2022, she was baptized. I wonder if her boyfriend was there. I wonder if her husband was there to watch her be baptized, and so was her boyfriend. Highly committed to the makeup game. Let's see who liked everything. This date was September 26th. Yeah, so she was baptized. Now, let me show you guys literally no pictures of Athena or Adina. Her girls are doing pageants. They're, participating in cheer, basketball. We're going to close this one out in just a second. And by Christmas, she had committed the ultimate, murder, my goodness. Does this little boy have bruises on his face? He does. His face and all down his legs. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that little boy has a bruise right here. And then on his legs, he's got like 3 or 4 bruises. That might be one of the girls in the very back there. Is this one of them? I don't think so. No, that's one of her girls. Let's see. So yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of photos of her kids, but I'm literally not seeing any photos of Athena or Adina. Still no kid, like no photos, like out of the movies. Where's the little girls? I don't know. She got to wear makeup because, yeah, her soul. You can't cover up an ugly soul. To me, it's pretty interesting that she never. And I might would have could have believed, like, okay, they're not her biological kids. So she can't post photos, but we know that's not the case now. Like, we know that the mother just of Adina and Athena just gave her the kids, no, you know, with no rules about if they could be on social media or anything like that. So she very well could have posted them on social media. I mean, we don't see Adina or Athena in cheer, playing anything, but her kids are, which I'm glad that her kids got that kind of life to play like that. There is Alysia and Ivan together. I wonder where she got that scar from. A lot of photos of her. This is actually, I think that's actually the property. I think. Um, yeah, so no photos of the little kids, clearly. It really makes me wonder, you guys. It makes me wonder if, like, when they're going to all these things, these baseball games, these cheerleading practices, basketball games, and we see photos of her kids, but not the other kids. Did she did she even bring the other kids? I'm really wondering. I mean, okay, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and close this one out. We're sitting a little bit over an hour. A lot of information from Cassie. I'm glad Cassie came in my chat earlier and reached out to me. To me, she just kind of solidified what I felt like I already knew was, while I don't think Ivan is innocent, I also don't think Ivan was the one that took Athena's life. I definitely think that was Alysia. Yeah, Cassie said her thoughts was that maybe that's why she thought. Cassie said she thought, well, maybe Alysia can't post photos of the girls, and it just kind of made her make sense to her because, well, maybe she can't. Um, but Shelly did. Shelly posted photos of the girls, and now we know there was no court. There was nothing through court. It was just their mom said, "Here, take care of these kids for me." The mom didn't say, "Make sure you take them to the doctor. Make sure you enroll them in school." So I doubt the mom said, "Don't post photos online of them." So I really just feel like she didn't post photos online because she didn't want to. But you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What's your opinion? I'm going to continue to follow this case. I'm going to continue. Are you okay? Can you breathe? You need my asthma pump? Huh? Look at my purse there, buddy. Did she not want anyone knowing she had the girls? Maybe that's it. Maybe she didn't want anyone knowing that she had the girls. Maybe that's why she didn't post photos. I would be curious about the boyfriend, if the boyfriend knew about these girls. Her IG name is Keeping Up with Allie O, ALYO. Keeping Up with Allie O. That's where you can find her Instagram, her TikTok. Um, Now her Facebook account is back up, but I can't see anything on it. I think you have to be her friend to see everything on there. But you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. What's your opinion? We're going to be keeping up with this case. Ivan should be back in Oklahoma by tomorrow sometime. And I think they have like 72 hours um, for him to have to go. He has to have some sort of hearing, like an arraignment within 72 hours, I believe. So I'm going to be keeping up with that. And as soon as I know something, you guys will know something. So subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of people in the chat tonight. please do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We're doing our very best to get to 100,000 subscribers this year. Just earlier, my 5-year-old was talking to Sean, my husband, about me getting the plaque for the 100K subscribers. And my husband was like, yeah, we hope she gets it this year, babe. Kim O, $10 super chat says, great live, Elle. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. And you guys, just be in prayer for Athena, Alysia, and Ivon's biological kids, because we don't know what they know. We don't know what kind of life they lived. While it seemed like they, were in sports and activities, we see a lot of photos where there's a lot of bruises, which makes me wonder if at some point something switched and abuse started happening. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. But you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. We're going to be following this case. Also following the Quentin Simon case, the Idaho 4 case. A lot of cases that we're going to be covering. This channel in the coming weeks will be strictly true crime, and the Bash Chat channel will be where I cover reality TV, Sister Wives, 90 Day Fiance, Teen Mom, anything celebrity news will be over on the Bash Chat channel. So make sure you guys go check me out over on the Bash Chat. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, goodbye, everyone.